So, Benny, tell me about this project of yours. I'm super stoked about it. I know my viewers are super stoked as well, and I want to hear all about it.
Oh, well, it's going to be hard for me not to talk about it and not smile so much. So, apologies in advance if my cheeks get bigger and my eyes disappear because I smile so much. But I am currently on Transformers Earth Spark on Nickelodeon, and I play the part of Ranger Dot Malto. She's the mother of a whole family of humans and Terrans alike, and she's just incredible. And I'm so honored to play such a dope character.
That's amazing. And how would you describe the character?
Oh gosh, she's like a warm hug and a bucket of ice water over your head at the same time. And she knows which one to give you and when. She can be that, hey, get it together. And are you okay, baby? Do you need a band-aid? Do you need a cookie or a hug? Mama's here. And she goes between both because not only is she a mom, but she is a veteran who fought alongside the Transformers in the big Transformers war. So she's, kind of battle tested, but has a heart of gold. And she's just a joy to play and a joy to watch.
And in what ways do you relate to her? And if you don't, which characteristics of hers do you wish you had?
I wish I had her toughness for sure. She has this inexhaustible well of love and the need to protect the people that she cares about, and she does it with such confidence, and that's something I think we all could use a little more of in terms of being able to speak for ourselves and advocate. Courage doesn't hurt in that regard. But as far as similarities, I was fortunate enough to be a grandchild of veterans who actually served. And because I was around that sort of military energy, I was able to, honor my grandparents by channeling that into the performance. So that's probably the closest thing to me that I can see in myself and the character, and everything else is just really awesome writing and really awesome directing. Shout out to Christy Reed. She is amazing.
Nice. And thank you to your family for their big, big military supporter. So that makes me so happy to hear about
Mm-hmm.
people who have military families.
They're special.
They
The folks that
really are.
serve and the family that loves them, they're special folks.
They absolutely are. And you described your character. You wish you had her toughness, and you're like she's like a warm hug and an bucket of water. I like that. I love that. Just makes me that describes me actually. I mean, that's like the sassiness. That's exactly how I am. So
Right on.
how's the character initially described to you?
She was described as someone who has gosh, it's been over a year, so pardon me if it takes a second, but
No problem.
the way that she was described to me was uh, I think they use the term inexhaustible well of love, if I'm not mistaken. That might be where that came from. And also being tough as nails, but being really soft and sweet. Her love for her family is her superpower. That I definitely remember reading. And I was like, whoa, okay. Yeah, gotta roll up the sleeves on this one.
I like that. I like that. And how did you prepare for the character? I mean, I know you said you had the military family, but what other ways did you prep for the character?
Aside from rehearsing the lines and getting a feel for the other characters that she interacts with, I talked with my family, and I asked my mom specifically what it was like growing up with a military parent, and what were some of the things that she took from in that upbringing that I could possibly use. I didn't tell her what it was for. I told her that I was doing some character research and I wanted to get her feedback, but that's exactly what it was for. So talking to family members and getting a better understanding of what my grandparents were like when my parents were young. Yeah, I think I said that right. And using that to help inform some of the character choices that I channeled in my performance.
Very nice. And what's one thing that you hope that viewers like about your character, other than the fact that she is absolutely incredible and such a strong, strong character?
As much as I love Dorothy's toughness, I also love her softness. So if there's anything I would like for people to take away is that a lot of that tough exterior shelters a nice, warm candy center, and that sometimes the toughest among us are the ones that are the most sensitive.
And what's next for you? I mean, I know we have the strike going on, but do you have any other projects in the works that, or any dream projects that you want to have?
Oh gosh, my dream is to continue to do this character forever and other characters. I love my dream. One of my dream roles, I have so many, but one of my dream roles is to play Amanda Waller in any DC anything. I just think she's such a cool character. And I am currently also the voice of Seraphine Savoy on the short Lackadaisy Cats, which is independently produced and on YouTube. And what I love about that character is that she's Creole, which is what I am ethnically. And it's really fun to showcase a little sliver of my culture against this really fun backdrop of, comic book stuff. It's really, really cool. And yeah, this is my joy. This is what I love. And this is what I'm so thankful to be able to do. So I want to do more of it.
I like that. And thinking about both your characters, which one do you relate to more?
Oh, that's a tough question. Between Seraphine and Dot, I probably relate to Dot a little more. Seraphine's kind of a wild card and she's a wild character. Fun to play though. So much fun because all these big expressions. But yeah, Dot feels like home.
Nice. And where do you see both of them being in the future? Knowing that, I'm putting in a universe that this is all going to go on for quite a while. Where
Oh,
do you
thank
see your
you.
characters going in the future?
This might be a reach, but I would love to see little girls dressed up or children, excuse me. I would love to see children dress up like Dot for Halloween or a Dot action figure with Megatron. Because growing up, I loved Transformers. I'm a fan of the show. I grew up with G1, the original series. And as much as I loved all the robots, it was kind of uncomfortable for me in some ways because I didn't always see myself reflected in the cartoons and shows that I loved, which is why I love being a voice actor now as an adult because there's so much more diverse writing. And it's not just diverse for the sake of being diverse, it's diverse, but it just happens to be, to put it in a way that makes sense. Dottie isn't just an African American character. She's a character who happens to be African American. She's living her life. She's a mom. She has children. She's just a person who happens to look like people I was raised by, And so for little kids to see themselves reflected is such an amazing thing because once you get that recognition and you can see yourself, you can imagine yourself saving the day and doing what's right and fighting bad guys. Imagine what else you can imagine yourself to be. You know what I mean? It gives you permission to
Yes.
dream outside the four walls of your house or the four corners of your block or your neighborhood or your economic background. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was a really long response. I'm so sorry. It's just this character in the show is incredible in terms of how they're able to have representation that doesn't pander. It just happens to be that, this is a mixed family, a Black mom and a Filipino dad and two mixed kids. Like, it's so cool to see that now.
It is very beautiful, and I think you do an incredible, incredible job representing the character.
Thank
And
you so
not
much.
only
Oh my
do I
gosh.
want to see Dot as an action figure and children and adults dress up
I'm
as her for
down.
Halloween, I want to see people see you, Benny, as a person, as a role model because you were just
Oh
incredible.
gosh. Oh, thank you, Sammy. Don't do this to me. This isn't waterproof. My face is gonna melt on camera and scare all your viewers and your watchers. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's people that you are the future for my nieces, so I just think you need to know that.
thank you. That means more than you know. This is how we live forever through our art. So when people say
Exactly.
things like that, it hits a nerve, a soft nerve. But oh gosh, thank you for real. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And one thing I like asking people at interviews, tell me a fun fact about yourself.
Fun fact is I can wiggle my ears without touching them. Let me see if I take off my earring. And you get real close. Can you see my ear?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
ready? Here we
Yeah.
go.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
I should have
That
left the
is
earring on in
awesome.
retrospect, but I just wanted you to see the ear move and not just the earring move. But yeah, now I look like a
Nice. And
really
how did
cool
you discover
pirate.
that talent?
I saw my mom do it once, and then I asked my dad if he can do it. And then I was like, is this genetic? And he was like, I don't know. Why don't you try? And I just tried to squeeze my ears towards the back of my head and they started to move. It's genetic
That is
apparently.
really cool. That's the first time I've ever heard anyone have a fun fact like that. It's that I like that. I like that.
Thank you.
And what are you watching this day in terms of TV and movies?
Oh, gosh, I'm about to start binge watching Loki. I'm almost caught up. I just finished Demon Slayer. Beautiful series. Oh my gosh, stunningly animated. Of course, I'm watching Earthspark. I'm also watching the Casa Grandes. I'm looking forward to their Dia de los Muertos, excuse me, Dia de los Muertos episode. And gosh, what else? What else am I watching? I don't know. I've been watching a lot of Halloween stuff. So Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown,
Of
classic,
course, of course.
and Grinch Night. Nobody knows about Grinch Night, and it makes me so sad because it's the Grinch during Halloween, and it's so cool.
I gotta find this. I think it sounds awesome.
It is. It's so crazy and wacky and over the top. It's fun.
I love stuff like that, so I'm definitely gonna have to check that out.
Let me know what you think.
I will. I will. And what's your number one guilty pleasure TV show or movie?
Guilty pleasure. Ah, guilty pleasure, guilty pleasure, guilty pleasure. Oh, I don't know if this counts, but I like to watch a lot of. I like the Great British Bake Off. They're so
I
nice on
love
that
that. Yes.
show. They're so nice, and I like to watch it when I'm eating cookies, so I can feel like I'm eating whatever they're making. Yeah,
That's
silly.
so cool. Yes, yes. I love that. I love all those baking and cooking shows.
It's just so charming and quaint, right? It's just so nice
Right.
and
Yeah, it's so
homey.
cute. I love it. I love it. And what's the last book that you read?
The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. My favorite books.
Good. I have to add that to my list. I mean, not that I don't
Oh,
have
it's a
200
great
books on my
story.
list already.
I love a good bibliophile. What do you recommend any books for me to read?
Brittany's new memoir. Oh my
Ah,
God, it's so
okay.
good. It's so good.
Okay. She's had a heck of a journey, that one. Man.
Yeah.
Whew.
I mean, I
And she
started and I
lived to
got
tell
to
the
one point.
tale.
Yeah, I won't ruin it for you, but there's one part I'm just like sobbing and sobbing. It's just, and you're like,
Hmm.
what? Why did we make fun of her? And why did we shame her for what? Well, you'll understand when you read it, but it's like, why do we
Hmm.
treat her so badly?
Man, it's hard to do. It's hard to do a lot of this in the public eye, especially when you're really, really young. Which most of the celebrities who were coming out with these memoirs were. They were teenagers. We forget, but they were kids themselves. And with technology being what it is, it's different now than it was back then. So I feel like maybe if she had technology on her side, she might have had the courage to advocate, or there might have been, who knows? We can never really know, can we? But oh, am I glad that she stuck it out and she lived to tell the tale. You know what I mean? It's a testament to her resilience, I think.
Exactly. Exactly. And she's another one. I want my nieces to see how strong she is, how she went through hell and back, and now she lived to tell the tale, and she's just so amazing.
It's well, it's a sight to behold because we watched it all happen in real time.
Hmm.
And thankfully
Exactly.
she's had some time to reflect and she's sharing her story, which is very, very brave, to say the least.
Exactly. Exactly. And where can we find you on social media so we can continue to follow your journey?
I am most active on Instagram. I am also on Facebook and TikTok. I'm trying to do better with TikTok.
I am too, but most of the time I just end up filming my cat doing something silly on TikTok because she's I'm surprised she's actually not trying to jump on camera right now. but she's always like, all right, let me film you.
You're a cat parent? I'm a cat parent too.
Yeah, 3 cats, 2 dogs.
All right, on pet parent. I have one cat. He is an only child. And thank goodness, because he's quite the handful. He's a tuxedo. He was a rescue. He's my little guy, a special little guy.
What's his name?
Sir Sebastian Montgomery Belvedere III, at your service. And yes, at your service is a part of his name. And yes, they say it every time at the vet.
I love it. I love it. And all my animals, okay, okay. Ever since I was younger, all my animals have had pop culture names. So all 5 of mine have pop culture names. There's
Cute. Let's go.
okay, there's Buffy, McNabb, Benson, Sophie, and Opal.
You have a cat named Benson? You are now my personal Shiro. That's freaking adorable.
Yes, from the exact TV show.
Yes, Robert Guillaume. I grew up with it. Yes.
Same,
Oh,
same.
wow. Let's go. Sammy. I love that. My
Yes.
cat is named after anime butlers.
Ah, nice.
Famous butlers. So Sebastian Michaelis from Black Butler. Montgomery is actually the name of the dog who I was going to see originally before I found my cat. So gave my cat that name in honor of him. And then Belvedere after Mr. Belvedere. And
Oh
the
my
third
God, I
at your
bet nobody
service.
nobody remembers Mr. Belvedere. Everyone always looks at me like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "How do you remember this show?"
It totally was a show and it had such a cool theme song. So yeah,
Yes, and the
right
guy
with you,
always
sis.
writing, yes. Oh my gosh, how are we the only ones that remember this?
I don't know, but I'm so glad I'm not alone anymore.
Me either.
So many references and nobody.
I know.
I said something about Thundercats the other day, and they were like, "Huh?" And I'm like, you know what? Never mind. I'll
That's
just
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Yeah, Thundercats and Inspector Gadget, who nobody seems to have heard of, which is weird because it's not that old of a show. I didn't
They
think,
remember
but
the movie with Matthew Broderick. They don't remember the
yeah,
actual old school cartoon.
true. Very true. Because that was the cartoon that got me into voice acting, to be honest with you. Yes.
I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Oh gosh, I watched I had a parakeet, a pet parakeet named Gadget. It was serious business for little me. And I grew up idolizing Penny from Inspector Gadget because she was a kid and she was getting into all these adventures. And come to find out, that was voiced by the iconic, the legendary Cree Summer, who I love. And I grew up hearing that voice so much, and I thought, geez, that's so cool. That's so cool. Well, Cree went on to do a TV show called A Different World. I don't know if you've ever seen that. It was a
Yes.
spinoff of The
Yes.
Cosby Show where they go to
I
college.
remember.
And she played the character Freddie Brooks, and I heard her voice. And then I went back and watched Inspector Gadget, and then I was reading the credits, and I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's Penny from it. Ah! And I felt like I cracked some mysterious code and then ended up following everything she did from then on. But that's when what it was for me was realizing that not only was Penny an incredible character, but she was voiced by a woman who looked a little bit like me. So I grew up with the idea, again, seeing yourself reflected. I was like, hey, I could grow up and do cartoon voices when I grow up. That lady did it. Huh, okay, new mission. I no longer want to be a marine biologist. I will be a voice acting lady. Ha ha ha
There you
ha
go.
ha.
Nice. Now, next level, you have to become a voice actress that plays a marine biologist.
That would be the trifecta. Being a voice actor who plays a marine biologist, and hopefully being really animated and fun. Oh gosh. Still, I don't know if it tops Amanda Waller, but I'm down to clown. See what happens.
We're gonna make this happen.
I'm down. Let's go. I'm
All
already
right.
ready.
Me too. Me too. We'll make it happen. But I just want to say, Betty, it's been a pleasure speaking to you, and I can't wait to do this again soon.
Likewise. Thank you again for having me. It means a lot. Thank you.
No problem. You're always welcome to come back. Thank
Yay.
you. Bye bye.
This was
Bye.
lovely. Thank you so much, Sammy. Great job, Benny.
Thank you. Thank you.